Hey guys, so don't you just love it when you and your friends, you and your friend find a video that you completely disagree with, and you think, what better thing to do than to respond and answer why I don't agree. So this video by GitFlanked, he pretty much he made a video and he titled it something around the lines of this video is for anyone who stopped playing or plays less of Siege, right? And I'm gonna be responding to that today. So, anyways, before I get started, I have to get this out of the way because I know how fanboys are. All right. Under fair use, this video has been edited. It has my commentary in it as well. So don't get your panties in a twist, because guess what? You can't copyright strike my video, you can't take it down. You can't get it taken down for copyright reasons, because it falls under fair use. So with that out of the way, we're just gonna jump right into it. So kick back, grab some popcorn or chocolate milk, or both even, and just enjoy the show.
What is up, everybody? I'm GetFlanked, and if you're watching this channel or video, there's a really good chance that at one point you were really in love with Rainbow Six Siege, at least enough to the point where you wanted to subscribe or watch a channel that was, for the most part, dedicated to Rainbow Six Siege. And I know, based upon comments and polls and stuff like that, that there are people on this channel that are no longer passionate about Siege.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of a dead given that a lot of people are no longer passionate with Siege, alright? It's kind of a dead giveaway. Because, you know, look at me and my friends. We used to play Siege all day, every day, right? Every chance we got, we would usually be on Siege. And we would play for hours on end, just have endless amounts of fun. But ever since Nook and Warden came out, the game changed for the worst. And I mean that sincerely. So it's not surprising that a lot of people are losing interest or aren't as passionate about Siege anymore. I mean, look at me. I used to be just insanely in love with Siege, and I don't feel anymore, right? I don't feel anymore. Oh yeah, one more thing that I forgot to mention in the beginning, because I'm a smooth brain, alright? Don't go and harass GetFlanked. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think that you guys should actually go and check out his channel, because he does have some pretty good content on his channel. So I do recommend checking him out. No, like, I'm not throwing shade towards him, I'm just responding to his video. And I might take cracks every now and again, but that's just my personality. So you're gonna, like, everyone will have to learn how to deal with that, you know? My personality is taking jokes at everything, so just thought I should get that out of the way. Well, not post at it, but mid-video.
Either you're playing significantly less, or maybe you're not playing at all.
You know, I may have done that other insert edit a little bit early, but whatever. So anyways, a lot of people have just stopped playing in general. And it's mostly due to the fact that Ubisoft is extremely incompetent, and they don't even know what they're doing. They don't know how to fix the game. That's the main thing, GetFlanked, alright? Because like I said, you know, no hate towards you. I think I'm still subscribed to your channel. I know I was for the longest time, but I think I still am. So, like, no shade towards you. I agree to disagree. I will respectfully disagree with you, if that makes sense. So, me and my friends, we stopped, they don't play nearly as much, and I don't even have the game installed on my PS4 anymore. So, I mean, there's that. You know, if they bring out cross-plat so I can play with my friends on Xbox, then yeah, sure, I'll re-download it. But I probably won't play it near as much as I used to. It'll probably never go back to being that way. It's just nowhere near as fun anymore. And I think that's the main reason why, is because it's just not fun, you know? If it's not fun, why bother?
And I wanted to make this video today speaking directly to those people and actually looking for feedback from them.
Okay, so this should actually be good for you, right? Because you said you were looking for feedback from everyone. Well, this is more constructive feedback, because I'm actually making a full-on response to the video, right? I'm making a full-on response to your video. So, you're gonna get some feedback.
And This isn't one of those, Siege is dying videos, you know what I mean? Like, I want to move past that like negative conversation and really just talk about, what's going on with you. Each of you watching this video, anybody who's playing Siege less right now, what is going on with you? Why are you playing the game less? Put that down in the comments and give me as much information as you can. Do you play on console? Do you play on PC? How much were you playing before? Did you play mostly ranked? What level were you as far as, were you gold, platinum, diamond, stuff like that? Did your friends quit? What are the reasons why you stopped?
Okay, well, I've already explained a few things here, but I am a console player. I was around level 300 when I stopped playing, and my skill level was roughly plat diamond, but I never actually got to hit plat or diamond before I quit playing the game, just due to the sheer amount of mouse and keyboard cheaters, DDoSers, the fact that there's actually no skill-based matchmaking, or the fact that there is skill-based matchmaking and it doesn't work properly. That's kind of why. That's why I stopped, because I was a primarily ranked player. So, yeah, you can see how that went.
Playing, all that stuff is really valuable. As much information as you can give me, and I'll be reading through that and really looking forward to it. Now, another thing that I'm hoping that you can include in your comment down below is, what would it take for you to come back? Is there something in your head like, hey, if I see this come into Siege, that's when I'm going to try the game again, or that's whenever I'm going to play the game more again? Is there something in your head that you're waiting on? I want to know that. Is it, when they start introducing new maps? Is it, when the anti-cheat gets improved? I'm not telling you what to say. I want to make that clear. I want these to be your honest opinions. But I'm just kind of giving you examples here. And I really want to challenge you to be honest with yourself, okay?
Okay, so now you're asking what it would take to get me back into Siege. Alright? You're asking, well, the audience, and I count as the audience since, I'm the one responding. So, honestly, a lot of the stuff that you listed would bring me back. If they would actually fix the game, fix the anti-cheat, give us new maps, original operator concepts, fine. But there's one more thing I want. I want new guns in Siege. I don't want, the same recycled guns every single season, because it gets old, right? And certain guns don't even get reused because of how bad they are. Do we have another operator in the game using the Scorpion? No, we don't. We only have one operator using the Scorpion. Do we have anyone using the AK-74M besides Nomad? What about Lions Vector 308? I mean, it's not a bad gun, granted, but still, it's not good enough to compete with Lions AR is not good enough to compete with someone like Thunderbird. Ellis Scorpion isn't good enough to compete with someone like Ace, It's not good enough to compete with all that, so it really doesn't make much sense as to why Ubisoft is doing this.
Because I think it's very easy to say, well, I don't play Siege anymore because the audio sucks, or because the anti-cheat is a joke, or because they are only doing one operator a season. But
hold on, but didn't you just say that all of those were valid reasons for people not wanting to play the game anymore? And now you're just saying that those are excuses that people are using to default with? That doesn't make sense. You literally used the anti-cheat being a joke as one of your examples for why people have been quitting the game. You used that anti-cheat being a joke as a reason, and yet you say that it's just a default excuse. How is that an excuse, alright? Look at someone like me who gets screwed every season, and I was 3-4 games off of plat last season. Look at someone like me. I've been screwed over because of audio bugs. I've been screwed over because this anti-cheat is terrible. Like, you make no sense. You literally said in the video that you said that people quit because of the anti-cheat and everything like that. But now it's suddenly just a default excuse? Alright. Didn't know that a valid reason was a default excuse.
I think a lot of people forget the fact that Siege is 6 years old. And I would honestly ask you, have you ever played a game for 6 years or more before without getting tired of it?
So now you're going to use the whole "this game is 6 years old" excuse to try and justify Ubisoft's inability to fix the game. You're going to use it's a 6-year-old game. Well, how about this? Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, they're not perfect games, but they came out in 2012 on the Nintendo DS, and I've been playing Pokemon White 2 since launch, and I still find enjoyment playing it to this day in 2021. Alright, in June of 2021, I still find enjoyment in playing Pokemon White 2. I've been playing GTA 5 since 2016. I've been playing games on the PS2 since I was barely learning how to walk. So you can't use that 6-year-old game excuse on me, especially someone like me. Because I'm someone who actually enjoys playing games that have, like older games, retro games, you know? I mean, I used to play some games that were out before I was even born, alright? So, don't hit me with that 6-year-old game. It's inexcusable. There's no excuse for Ubisoft having an inability to fix the game. It's shameful. There's no excuse.
Maybe yes. Maybe you're somebody who's been playing CSGO and you still play that game every day. If that's the case, let me know, please. But I think for most people, it's not normal to play a game for 6 years and to still be engaged like you were in the beginning. I think there is like a portion of everybody's response probably needs to look into the fact that, hey, I've been playing the game for 3 years and I'm just tired of it. Like that's the honest answer for a lot of people, I feel like. It might not be the complete answer. There might be factors along the way that contributed to that. Like, for example, hey, the sound has never worked right. It didn't bother me in the beginning, but after 2 years of dealing with it, I got to the point where I didn't want to deal with it anymore. That's totally fair, okay? But I just want to challenge you to really consider everything, think about your answer, and try not to just to default to the classic, oh, well, the anti-cheat sucks, or Smurfs, or whatever, okay? Really think about this and give me your best answer. And I'll be talking about my own experiences here as well, because I fall into this group of people. This will be the first season that I won't be ranked since Velvet Shell.
Alright, and there we are. That's where he said it was a default excuse. That right there is where he says it. And this is the first season that he won't be ranked since Velvet Shell. Wait, could it be that he's making a self-contradicting video? Alright? This is very contradicting. Making excuses for Ubisoft while at the same time telling Ubisoft why Siege is dying and telling them that they're the problem. That's very contradicting, Get Flanked. Very contradicting. So, I don't know what the point of you even including that part in your video is for. I don't even know. Because it seems to me like you're just being a big old hypocrite right now. That's what it seems like.
Season since then. Now, I have played unranked this season, not nearly as much as I normally do. So yeah, I fall into that group of people that are playing the game less. So I'm asking myself the same question that I'm asking you guys out there. Why? Why am I playing the game less?
I'll tell you why all of us, and even you, are playing the game less. I'll tell you why everyone's playing the game less. It's because the big content creators like you never held Ubisoft accountable whenever they added some overpowered BS to the game. You guys never held Ubisoft accountable, and this is where we're at with Siege now. And it's sad to say, but it falls back onto you big YouTubers for not actually for not speaking out against what Ubisoft is doing, because it's on Ubisoft. It's Ubisoft's fault they don't fix the game, but it's your fault they don't have the motivation to, because you have to give them that motivation to fix the game. And you big YouTubers, you haven't held them accountable. So really, you have no one to blame but yourselves in that situation.
And I've talked about this a little bit in previous videos. There's a lot of different factors involved, but this thought process has really evolved over time for me. And Priest put out a tweet yesterday, I believe, asking a similar question, like, why are you playing less Siege? And I responded with, because I stopped caring about my rank. And I think, again, there's a lot of factors involved, but if I'm boiling it all down to one thing, I think that's probably it. At some point, I stopped caring about getting better in Siege. And I stopped caring about trying to hit Diamond for the first time. And I stopped caring about what my rank was. And at that moment, whenever I stopped caring, for me, the game just wasn't as fun. Now, the next logical question is...
Now, I don't know if this is me personally, but I know this is a couple of people I know at the same time, because it happens pretty much when we played Siege. It happened to all three of us. Pretty much, he says he stopped caring about his rank. Then, here's a newsflash, buddy. If you don't care about your rank, don't play ranked. That's why so many people get mad in ranked. It's because their teammates don't care, so their teammates don't try. If you don't care about your rank, don't drag someone else's rank down, because some people still care. Some people still care about their ranks and want to hit a higher rank. You know, look at me. I've been trying to hit plat since I got the game, pretty much. At least hit plat, and I haven't been able to do that yet because I've always got put with teammates that throw or put against cheaters or hackers. Because despite what all these PC YouTubers say, yes, you can hack a PS4, yes, you can hack an Xbox One. But anyways, going back on topic, if you don't care about your rank, then just don't play ranked. It's not hard. You know, it's like me saying, I hate GTA, period, I cannot stand the game at all, but then continuing to play GTA for no reason. I don't hate GTA, by the way. I'm just using that as an analogy, as an example, right? And it works, because that's exactly what the Siege YouTubers are essentially doing. They're like all these YouTubers that say, oh, screw GTA, screw Rockstar, I hate them, I never want to touch GTA again. But they play GTA almost every day and upload it on their channel consistently. It doesn't make any sense.
Is, well, why did you stop caring about your rank? And, you know, I think part of that is on me. And part of that is that, you know, I've been playing the game for 6 years, 5 years, whatever. And then part of it is on, you know, Ubisoft and, you know, some mistakes that they've made. But, you know, I think that it's, if I'm being honest with myself, the majority of it's on me, okay?
No, the majority of why you lost interest in Siege and stopped caring about your rank, the majority of it isn't on you. The majority of it is, well, yeah, kind of you, but not entirely you. It's the big YouTubers in general, because they're the ones that are just saying Siege is fine, and they're the ones that are simping over Ubisoft. So, I mean, yeah, it's the big YouTubers, and it is Ubisoft, but at the same time, you know, here we go with the 6-year-old game excuse again. Once again, you know, I love Pokemon White 2. That's one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite game of all time. And it came out back in 2012 for the Nintendo DS, and I remember because I got it the day it came out, once again, you know. So, just, the 6-year-old game excuse does not cut it. Yeah, you can play a game for years and never get bored of it. You know, there are people who still play games that came out in the 90s, you know? And I'm one of those people. I play PS1 and PS2 games. I enjoy playing retro games, but I can also understand, and I also understand and respect modern games as well. I like modern games at the same time, you know? I'm a gamer. I don't just play, you know, the modern games. I play the old ones too, the retro, the good stuff. It's not all about, you know, oh, realistic this, realistic that. No, it's about having fun. It's just, that's why people are done with Siege and leaving Siege. It's because it's not fun, right? Gaming is supposed to be fun. Siege is not fun. That's why people are losing interest. And it's because people like you didn't hold Ubisoft accountable all those years ago when they started ruining the game. Y'all didn't hold them accountable, and now you guys are getting the consequences for your actions. And now you have buyer's remorse because you didn't say anything. So you really don't have any room to complain here.
I have been hitting plat every season for the last several years, you know, and I've been solo queuing as well as doing it in a stack, and I've still never hit diamond. And after so many seasons of doing that, I guess I just kind of lost the drive.
Okay guys, so right here, yeah, I agree with what it says. You know, you try to hit a certain rank for years and years and years, and you lose the drive to do it. That's where I'm at, right? I lost the drive to hit plat, but you know what? I actually took the initiative and stopped playing the game to try and show Ubisoft that I was done putting up with their BS. And if you YouTubers would encourage people to do the same thing, Ubisoft would actually have the initiative to fix the game, but they don't. Ubisoft has no initiative to actually fix the game when not even the YouTubers will call them out on their BS. And they have you defending their actions and blaming the player base. You blame the player base and defend Ubisoft's actions. For what reason? Ubisoft does not deserve your defense. They don't deserve it. They didn't earn it, they don't deserve it. Just like they don't deserve anyone's money. They don't deserve anybody's money. Especially in 2021. After everything they've done, they don't deserve it. And we shouldn't have to put up with their BS every time we want to play Siege. Sometimes we get home from like a hard day of school, or some people have work, right? Or just life in general, really. And they come home, they just want to play some Siege, and they can't even enjoy Siege because of the player base, because of Ubisoft. They can't even enjoy Siege. It's just, it's so dumb.
to keep doing it, or to try to get better. And that's the thing with Siege. If you care about improving and you're actively trying to get better at this game, I would argue that there is no game that is more rewarding for that mindset than Siege, because you will learn something every single day. I don't care how long you've been playing this game.
So you see, there's no game more rewarding than Siege for having that constant improvement mentality, as I like to call it, right? Which, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I have the improvement mentality as well when it comes to quite a few games. But to say that Siege is the most rewarding one, that's just a straight up lie, alright? I had that improvement mentality for Siege, and you wanna know what happened? Guess what happened? 3 games off of plat, and I get put against cheaters, and I get put with teammates that throw. 3 games off of plat. So no, Siege is not the most rewarding game for that. I was 3 games off plat, buddy. 3 games. 3. I was so close to hitting plat for the first time, and nope. I hit plat, and then every match from then on, I just got smooth-brained morons. And then, I went straight down to bronze. Straight down to bronze. From gold. In gold, it takes, at the beginning of the season, when you're getting like 80, 90 MMR, it takes like 2 games to rank up in gold, right? I was 1 game off gold 2. Now let's assume it would have taken 2 games to hit plat from, or no, whatever. I was close to plat. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get at the fact that I was really close to plat last season, right? I was 1 game away from gold 2, and then it would have been gold 1, and that would have been plat. I was really close, and I got screwed out of it by my team. So explain how the improvement mentality helps out in situations like that. How are you supposed to improve in a game where you're stuck with nothing but toxic teammates? Maybe you wouldn't know Get Flanked because you don't play on PlayStation anymore. You haven't played on PlayStation in years. So you don't know. You don't know what we have to put up with on PlayStation because you haven't played in years. So don't try to give me BS about how the improvement mentality, this improvement that you can't improve in a game where it's all team based. If you have more than one teammate throwing, you're pretty much screwed. So don't give me nothing about that improvement mentality. Yeah, right, what a joke. What an actual joke, dude.
But on the opposite side of that, once you don't have that mindset, once you don't really care about getting better, once you're not as engaged with the game as you used to be, man, the flaws in this game really start to jump out at you.
Alright, Get Flanked, it's kind of ironic that you point that out because you don't call Ubisoft out for their mess ups, even though in your own gameplay footage, the guy that shot you completely missed and got the kill. Does that not seem a bit, I don't know, off to you? How the guy missed his shot entirely and still got the kill on you? Is that not in the least bit suspicious? Or in the least bit worthwhile calling Ubisoft out for? Like, come on, you're actually a hypocrite, dude. You know, like, you don't call the toxic players, you don't call on Ubisoft for screwing up the game every single update, you don't call anyone out. Instead, the people that stopped playing are the problem. So, you know, really, you're just antagonizing the people who are seeing through this BS. You're just antagonizing them, bro. But what's the reason? Why antagonize people who did nothing wrong to you? You know, what's the point?
And I've said it before, but, you know, it used to be that I would look at Siege and see everything that they were doing right. And lately I've been looking at it and seeing everything they did wrong. That's just naturally what jumps out to me. And I think that's why, is because I'm just not as, I don't care as much about, you know, trying to hit diamond as I used to. It used to be like, wake up every day and what can I do today to try to hit diamond this season in Siege, you know?
I wonder why people don't care as much about hitting diamond anymore, Get Flanked. I wonder why. It's not like Ubisoft has been consistently screwing up Siege for the last 2.5 years, right? Totally not, right? It's totally not the fact that the game hasn't functioned properly since Burnt Horizon, roughly. So that might be why a lot of people are losing interest in Siege. So, once again, you know, I'm calling out the problems, and you're sitting here defending Ubisoft for it. When will you realize that you can't just defend Ubisoft blindly because you're hurting your own community? You claim to care about your community and you say that your community matters to you. But is it true? Does your community actually matter to you when you don't even call out the entity that is harming your community? Is that true? Is that the truth? Do you actually care about your community? Because if you actually did, you would call it Ubisoft for the stuff they do. But you obviously don't, because you don't call it Ubisoft. So there's that argument out the window.
Ethically, I'm not gonna, you know, manipulate the matchmaking. I could have, you know, I had a Discord with 10,000 people in it. I could have manipulated the matchmaking very early on and hit diamond every season probably. But I really wanted to do it. I wanted to do it because I wanted to earn it. And that's what motivated me every day for like the first 3-4 years that I played this game. And that's what drove my passion. And I think you can say what you want about me.
Okay, you feel like you've earned your way to diamond? Well, guess what? I've earned my way to Plat, alright? I feel that I've more than earned my way to at least Plat. But every season, I'm just forced to deal with toxic teammates, trash teammates, try-hard enemies, mouse and keyboard cheaters, everything like that. Every season. So yeah, I haven't hit Plat yet because I'm not a cheater. I'm not a degenerate loser. But, you know, you're on PC, so you don't deal with that stuff. You play on a mouse and keyboard on PC. You're not using a controller on console playing against mouse and keyboard sweats and Smurf accounts and toxic teammates and all the other stuff. So you really have no room to talk when it comes to matchmaking.
But if you've watched my channel over time, I don't think you can argue that I'm passionate about Rainbow Six Siege. And that passion still exists. Don't get me wrong. But yeah.
See, right here, he literally says he feels like he earned his way to Diamond. He feels like he earned his way there. But notice one small thing. He's abusing bullet holes. That's kind of strange. Because you'd think that someone who earned their way to a high rank wouldn't abuse something so cheesy like that. Or so, how do you put it, unfair, right? They wouldn't abuse something unfair like that if they actually deserved and earned that rank, you know? They wouldn't abuse something like that. But you do. You abuse bullet holes, which Ubisoft has promptly removed after you upload this video. So that point kind of flies out the window too, man. Not gonna lie. And once again, you know, I don't mean to, like, I'm making this in like a satirical, when I make like the jabs and stuff, alright, if you see this video, I'm doing this for satirical context. I'm not doing it because I hate you. Matter of fact, man, I do enjoy your content. Alright, I'm gonna be honest. I enjoy your content. But I don't necessarily agree with all of your takes, which is why I'm making this video. So yeah, there's that.
I mean, really, the last few seasons, I just haven't really cared that much about my ranked, and it's really affected my whole view of the game. A lot of people have been talking about downtime in Siege lately, and I think personally, if you are somebody who talks about the downtime in Siege, that is the #1 clue that you are no longer as engaged and passionate about improving in this game and your rank in this game as you used to be.
Well, here's the problem with that, alright, Get Flanked. Most of the people that talk about downtimes on Siege are console players like me who have to deal with a lot of toxic BS and cheaters and that kind of stuff. Granted, there's cheaters on PC, but it happens so much more than you think on console. I mean, I played this season, and after the first day, I was getting placed against M&K cheaters in almost every single game I played. Literally, almost every game I played was against M&K cheaters, because Ubisoft still has no foolproof way to get rid of M&K on console. They still, after 6 years, have not found a way to get rid of M&K. But I can name a solution. Sue the people making M&K adapters. You do that, you bring down the whole cheating problem for console. And Ubisoft can do it and win. And they know they can. But do you know why they won't? They don't care. But people talk about downtime so much because it's hard to focus on the positives when you're always playing against the negatives, you know? It's kind of hard.
Because here's a perfect example. If you are in ranked in a 5-stack and you get spawn peaked in the first second of a round, like, yeah, you might be mad or whatever, but you're going to hop on cams, you're going to try to help the team continue to win that round by making calls, and you're going to be engaged still in that round. If you are just getting on unranked to have fun in Siege and you get spawn peaked in the first round, you might just alt F4, or you might just tab out for the next 3 minutes and get on Twitter and see what's going on, and then come back whenever you see the orange thing pop up on your taskbar and, you know, pick your operator and move on to the next round. Downtime doesn't really exist in Siege when you're engaged and when you really care about a ranked match or the match that you're in and trying to win. But as soon as you stop caring, the downtime really does present itself, and there is a lot of it.
Yeah, there is a lot of downtime in Siege, mostly because, you know, like I said before, you don't really feel... Okay, how do I put this? Overwatch is a good example of this, because Overwatch and Rainbow are two very similar games. So, look at Overwatch. I have not touched Overwatch in over 2 years. Why? It's because they completely destroyed the meta. They tried to make a fixed meta where only certain characters were powerful and everyone else was terrible. And that killed the game. Alright? That's essentially what Ubisoft is doing to Siege now. But you know, to your credit, you are gonna call out Ubisoft. You're calling out Ubisoft now that we're later into the video. So to your credit, you are starting to call them out. So I gotta give you credit there. Credit where it's due. You earned the credit. You know, you don't deserve it. You earned it. Because that's how the world works. You don't deserve things. You earn them. Similarly to how you earned Diamond, but you've never actually hit it. Similar to how I've earned Platinum, but never hit it. We're in the same boat here, buddy.
And that's where I go to like the dev team and on Ubisoft and part of it being on them, because they have never introduced a way to play this game that isn't super sweaty. And I know that there's outliers there. This isn't an absolute statement. There are people like Bikini who can get on and play unranked and try different stuff and continue having fun. But for me personally, if I'm not sweating in a 5-stack or solo queue and in ranked, you know, really trying to win, Rainbow Six Siege is boring. There is so much downtime. It didn't used to be that way, but I think Apex Legends Arenas and Valorant have ruined casual Siege for me, because the pace in those games is extremely fast. It's non-stop action. The rounds are quick. The action's quick. Everything's happening quick. You feel like you can't even breathe in those games. Whereas in Siege, again, you die early in the round, you tab out for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. You could tab out and do whatever you want and then come back and get in the next round. And that's like the biggest thing that jumps out to me. And again, I do think some of that blame does need to fall on Ubisoft, because the game's been out for over 5 years and they've never introduced a new permanent game mode that would allow people to play this game a little bit more casually. Give me a game mode that has the mechanics and stuff that I love with Siege, but reduces the downtime, that allows me to play it quicker at a faster pace. You know, the fact that nothing like that has ever been introduced into Siege, I think is one of the greatest mistakes that's ever existed in this game. Now, hindsight's 2020, okay? You know, and you know, here's the thing: if they did introduce that, all the people who are currently super engaged in ranked and are passionate about getting better and stuff, they would probably complain. They would, why are you wasting time on this game mode when you could be improving the anti-cheat? So there's two sides of the coin there, all right? You're never going to please everybody.
So, once again, you know, he did call out Ubisoft, so to his credit, yeah. He called out Ubi for what they've been doing. And he also actually called out the player base, too. So, good on him. He actually addressed the actual problem. But we're only 40 minutes into this video, and I'm only 4 hours into editing this video. But, you know, I do have to agree that Siege should be less sweaty in quick match and unranked. And I'd even argue ranked to an extent. I'd argue that, yeah, I agree with you there. But, you know, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So like I said, this took me hours to make. And I usually don't spend hours at a time to make a video. But this one I did because I wanted to make it special. It's my first response video to any YouTuber, and I figured why not have the video be towards someone like Get Flanked, someone that I actually do have a little bit of respect for. So with that being said, if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you agree with what I'm saying, go ahead and share the video while you're at it. It would help out my channel greatly, and I would really appreciate it. And until the next one, I am signing off.